This is the Jackery Explorer 1000 V2 portable power station. It's a compact, boxy unit with Jackery's familiar black and orange look, a clean front display, and a foldable carry handle that sits flush when you're not moving it. At about 12.87 by 8.82, 9.72 inches, and 23.8 pounds, it's roughly the size of a small toolbox and light enough to carry with one hand when needed, but still feels solid and trustworthy. Key features that stand out right away are the 1070Wh LiFePO4 battery, on 1500-watt pure sine wave AC output with a 3000-watt surge, and two 100-watt USB-C ports, alongside a USB-A, a 12-volt car socket, and 3 AC outlets. There's also an integrated LED light on the front, which sounds minor until you're rummaging around at night. The LiFePO4 chemistry is the long-life stuff, rated to hold over 70% capacity after 4,000 charge cycles. In plain terms, that's years of heavy use without worrying about the battery giving up early. I had one big question before using it. Could it really charge from empty to full in about an hour? From my experience, yes, with a catch. You need to open the Jackery app and enable the emergency charging mode each time you want that 1 hour charge. By default, it targets about 1.7 hours to be gentler on the battery, which I appreciate. When I toggled emergency charging and plugged into a standard wall outlet, it ramped up fast and the app showed an aggressive charge rate that matched the claim. For days when time matters, like before a storm or before a road trip, that's a real perk. On regular days, I leave it in the default setting for better long-term health. If you're new to these numbers, here's a quick translation. Watt-hours, WH, is the size of the battery. With 1070 watt-hours, a 100-watt device can run for roughly 10 hours, give or take a bit for efficiency. The 1500-watt AC output is how much power it can deliver at once. That's enough for a portable fridge, a coffee maker, a laptop, and lights together, or a small space heater or induction plate by itself for shorter bursts. The pure sine wave output means it delivers clean power like your wall outlet, so sensitive electronics, think CPAP machines, gaming laptops, or camera chargers, stay safe. The first real test for me was a neighborhood outage that lasted a couple of hours. I plugged in my refrigerator, Wi-Fi router, and TV, then used a USB-C port to charge my laptop without tying up an AC outlet. The screen showed a steady draw and a clear runtime estimate. It ran everything smoothly with no flicker, and the fan noise stayed reasonable. Later that night, I used the LED light on the unit to check cables without grabbing a flashlight. That little detail saved me some hassle. Camping is where I felt the benefits most. It powered my 12-volt cooler, drone batteries, and a projector for a backyard movie without breaking a sweat. Two 100-watt USB-C ports meant I could fast charge a MacBook and a tablet at the same time. I paired it with solar during the day and wall power when I got home. I won't throw around big solar input numbers because panels and sunlight vary so much, but it does play nicely with Jackery panels, and the app makes it easy to watch the solar wattage climb when the sun hits right. The foldable handle is handy when I'm loading it into the trunk, and it tucks down flat so I can stack gear on top. It sits well under a desk too, so I've been using it as a backup for my home office. In my opinion, the app support is a bigger deal than it sounds. The Jackery app lets me adjust charging modes, toggle the 1 hour emergency charge, and turn on quiet charging for overnight when I don't want the fans ramping up. The 30 dB mode is actually near silent in my space. There's also an energy-saving option to help stretch the battery when you're trying to make it through the night. From my experience, the port layout is practical. 3 AC outlets are enough for the essentials without turning the front panel into a cable jungle, though power users with lots of wall plugs might want a small power strip. The two 100-watt USB-C ports are the stars here, since I can skip bulky laptop bricks. The single USB-A is fine for older accessories, but I mainly live on USB-C now. Performance-wise, it's strong for a 1 kilowatt-hour class unit. It handled my electric kettle, induction plate on lower settings, and a shop vac, as long as I respected the 1,500 watts ceiling. Surge at 3,000 watts helped with startup spikes. If you've never used a power station before, just remember that high heat appliances chew through W quickly, so think in sessions rather than all-day use with those. I did run into a couple of small quirks worth knowing. You have to enable the 1 hour charge every time you want it, which keeps you honest about when you actually need a fast top-up. I also wish there were one more USB-A for older gear. And while 23.8 pounds is very manageable for a 1 kilowatt-hour battery, I wouldn't call it featherweight. It's fine to carry from the car to a campsite table, but I'm not hiking it across a field. That said, compared with larger stations that double the weight, This is a sweet spot between capacity and portability. It's perfect for weekend camping, tailgating, power outages, and road trips where you want real household-style power without a noisy gas generator. It's also great as a home office backup to keep internet and work devices running through short outages. I've even used it as a silent power hub in the garage while I worked on a project and didn't want an extension cord across the floor. I'd recommend this for anyone who needs reliable, clean power in a compact package and wants the peace of mind of long-life LFP cells. If you value fast charging, quiet operation, and modern USB-C capability, this ticks the right boxes. If you're trying to run multiple high-heat appliances at the same time, or you need whole home coverage, you'll want something larger. But for most day-to-day and weekend needs, this hits a very practical balance. A quick nod to the build and design because it matters when you actually live with this stuff. The casing feels tough, the handle is comfortable, and the screen is bright enough to read outdoors. The footprint makes it easy to store in an apartment closet or RV cabinet. I also appreciate that Jackery keeps the interface simple. I don't need a manual every time I turn it on. In conclusion, the Jackery Explorer 1000 V2 nails the essentials and adds thoughtful touches that make a real difference. The 1070Wh capacity, 1500-watt AC output, and long-life LFP battery handle everyday power needs with confidence. The app-controlled charging modes are genuinely useful. The two 100-watt USB-C ports feel modern, and the size-to-weight ratio makes it flexible for home and travel. I came in skeptical about the 1-hour charge, and I left impressed by how well it works when I actually need it, and how smart it is that the default protects the battery when I don't. If this video helped, hit subscribe and drop your questions or your own experience with the Explorer 1000 V2 in the comments. Thank you for watching.